Hello, I'm the Reddit man, your dealer of Reddit stories. Shall we start? Black Friday is over. Would the poor souls who work today kindly share their worst tales of this day? We mailed out free $10 gift cards to our customers. Obviously, a lot of people used it on their purchases and things were going swell. One lady had a purchase of about $9.50. Scanned her gift card. Her balance is now $0. Awesome. Me, alright, here you are. The gift card covered your entire purchase. Lady, where's my 50 cents? Me, it might be on the rest of the gift card. I can. Lady, give me my 50 cents. Cash. I tried to explain that this was not a fucking episode of Coupon Hunters and that I could not pay her for an excess on a gift card that she did not even purchase. Fortunately, she left without me having to call a manager. I own a small private security company. I hire and provide security guards for clients, construction companies and apartment complexes. Mostly, my company was hired to provide security for a strip mall today from 4 AM to 8 PM Pacific. The majority of these shifts were perfectly fine, but one of my guards told me that an older woman, he said, 60 plus years old at least, saw a family loading items into their trunk, and when they weren't paying attention, although I have no confirmation besides my employee's word, this family saw some people they recognized and decided to walk over to talk to them. The old lady ran over, grabbed a bunch of bags, jumped into the passenger seat of a Toyota Corolla that was close by and drove off. The guard tried to run over and stop her, but he wasn't quick enough. The family was understandably devastated. This old lady stole thousands of dollars worth of items from them. The worst part was that this family tried to blame my guard for not being quick enough. He was keeping an eye on the entire parking lot, which is no small task, and he reacted as soon as he saw the woman grabbing the bags from the trunk. They apparently got the guard's name and my company's name and threatened to sue. I feel for them, but at the same time, why the duck would you walk away from your vehicle full of items with the trunk wide open? My supervisor caught a coworker trying to skip out 15 minutes before the end of her shift, while some of us were still super busy, and when he gave her a direct task for the last quarter hour of her shift, she tried to throw him under the bus in a coworker group chat for forgetting something. Turns out that something had also been assigned to her, and she chose not to do it to try to stick a brand new trainee with the job, but our supervisor called her on the situation as soon as she ran her mouth. He then, being just completely over this day, vented to me for 5 minutes and decided to take the whole situation up the chain. This bitch has been nothing but problems for a year now, and we are all tired of tolerating her childishness. I started at 4 PM on Thanksgiving, so I could hear most customers saying, I should've just bought it online. The duck you out here shopping then. I could've enjoyed Thanksgiving, but no. You and your fat family had to come out and see what all the fuss was about. Duck you all. I work at a certain dine-in cinema now, and I was serving today in Frozen 2 for 13 hours. We are currently short-staffed because the general manager decided we only needed extra help for Star Wars and not Frozen, despite being in a very rich, very white, very family-friendly area. So it was only 3 of us to take care of 200 people each showing. I made hella money, so that part was nice, but there wasn't a single moment of downtime. They catered food for the staff today. It got there around 2 PM and I didn't have a second to even walk to the break room to grab some until nearly 7 PM. The only silver lining was that someone accidentally screwed up and poured someone a double of Crown instead of their preferred whiskey, so I had to dispose of it into my employee cup of Coke. I have a high tolerance, so it didn't really matter, but it did actually take the edge off a little bit. I usually have a stick up my ass when it comes to following the rules, but goddamn I earned that today. I went out shopping today without even really thinking about it being Black Friday. That's how much Black Friday has cooled off from the days of old. It honestly wasn't that bad. People who didn't grow up with literal fistites over sale items and people getting trampled to death don't really know the true mayhem of Black Friday. It's not Black Friday, it's 6 PM Thursday. Drove home after dinner and the store parking lots were packed. Walmart at 11 AM Friday. Dead. But it has definitely changed. The things I did buy were all online. We had a stupid good deal on Beats headphones and was giving out tickets to people in line before we opened. Had a couple that wanted a pair of black and one of red. Had to be red because it was for their autistic grandson who is super particular about colors. I had plenty of black but had to go look for a pair of red. Didn't have any left because the guy beside me had the last pair. The couple looked at me and said, we were here first. Turns out the guy didn't need the pair to be red and was willing to swap it out for them. That was literally the closest it came to being awkward today. I love being Canadian. We had a 1+1 free thing on certain items. The items were lame, but our regional manager thought they'd sell like hotcakes. We sold 50-ish of the 3,000 we ordered. We got stock to cover the next 10 years. We didn't even reach the target for the Dale Mayo. I told the guy it wasn't a good idea, didn't listen. Now we are ducked. I work at the Grand Canyon as a server, and we had an insane snowstorm that dropped like 2 feet of snow in just a few hours, which felled a bunch of trees and knocked out power, so there were no buses to get to work. So I had to walk a couple kilometers on slippery ice and knee-deep snow to get to work, and then instead of our regular menu with burgers and whatever, we just had soup, pre-packaged sandwiches, and coffee, and all transactions were done on paper instead of the computer, and it was pitch black by like 5 PM in the restaurant, so we couldn't hardly see anything. It's like every server's nightmare. You get like 6 tables at once. They all want to pay at once. Your change is depleted 1/3 the way in, and everyone wants to pay with 50s and 100s or split their check 5 ways on cards, which takes forever because you have to process all the cards on paper, and then everyone is mad that it takes so long, so they don't tip. Plus keep track of your cash transactions. The computer normally would, and at the end you have to do all your accounting by hand and hope it's all correct, and it's all done in the dark. Oh, and of course half the shift didn't show up because of the weather, so there were like 5 of us instead of 9 to cover like 45 tables, and no buses when we normally have 2 or 3. Shit was crazy. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new uploads.